Some say you should hustle. Some say you should manifest. I say you should hustle fast. There's these two different groups of people, right? Some are hustlers, some are manifestors, and they're in two different extremes. Like, the people that are into spirituality, they're focused on being, just, being and receiving and just allowing for the universe to bring things to them. And then there are people that are into self-growth and like financial freedom, that are focused on doing, that are focused on action and action-oriented behaviors. They are focused on doing and achieving and living their dream lives by doing, by actively trying to achieve their goals. So there are the hustlers that try to hustle their goals and dreams into reality. And then there are the manifestors that try to manifest and be and receive and, just allow the universe to bring their dream life to them. And I think both of them have some truth, but I think the best solution is the best of both worlds. You have to hustle and you have to manifest. You have to do and you have to be in order to really, benefit from, and in order to really live the dream life that you want. So I think instead of just focusing on either doing or being, I think we should focus on balancing the two by putting the doing on one side and the being on one side of a seesaw or a teeter-totter, and just, sometimes being, sometimes doing. It do be like that sometimes. It do be like that sometimes. You gotta do be sometimes. Okay, so basically, the people who say you should hustle are focusing on the divine masculine of hustling, action, effort, willpower, discipline, consistency, progressive overload. Just do, put in consistent effort towards your goals to achieve your dream life. Just do the things even if you don't feel like doing them. Do the things even if you don't want to do them. Just do them. Those are the hustlers. And then there are the manifesting people, the manifestors, that are more so the divine feminine. These are all like spiritual jargon, but these are the people who focus on the divine feminine, that is to just be more passive, to allow the universe to bring stuff, to allow the universe to bless you and just give you your dream life. All you have to do is raise your vibration, live with the good vibes, and visualize and assume it's already yours, and it'll happen. You just have to allow for your manifestations to come, and you have to be open to receiving your blessings, and you just have to be. You have to be in a state of being what you want. You don't have to do what you want, you just have to be what you want. So if you want financial freedom, an abundant, beautiful life, you just have to embody that. You just have to be the person who already has those things. You just have to, be relaxed, be chill, be free, be worryless. I've been consuming both ends of the spectrum for years now, so they definitely have their merits. They definitely have valid points, but I think focusing too much on either doing or being without balancing both of them, it kind of makes you the only person on the seesaw, the only person on the teeter-totter. You're just on one side, and it's not a fun game. It's like, you need both to play the game. You need to balance both sides of the spectrum to, be enlightened. Basically, I mean, both sides of the internet, the spiritual side and the discipline, self-development, bro side, I think they're both necessary. If they only took from each other and came to a common ground, that would be awesome. That would be the best. In order to live a fulfilling, successful life, I think we need to balance both doing and being. So when you're in a state of being, right? Being and just chilling, you will be naturally inspired to do something, right? And that is inspired doing, like you're inspired to take a certain action out of like boredom. Like you can't just be all the time, right? You can't be 24/7. You can't just relax and chill and do absolutely nothing for forever. There's gonna come a point in time where you're just sitting staring at the wall and you feel inspired to do something. And that inspiration, that little spark of motivation to do something, that is inspired action. That is the kind of action we want to take. And once we do the thing that we're inspired to do, and we finish it, we finish that task or game or whatever we want to do, once we finish taking the inspired action, we can return to a state of being, of chilling, of relaxing, of receiving. And then the cycle starts again. Like, you start with being, and then you receive this jolt of this spark of inspiration. You receive this eureka moment, and you feel like doing something. And once you do that and you're done with it, you can go back to just being until you receive another eureka moment where you feel like doing something. And so that is the cycle, that is the balanced cycle of being and doing. So I think we need a balance of both, not just one or the other. And I think both are equally important states of living to experience a well-rounded fulfillment emotionally, mentally, spiritually, physically. So I think one critique I have for the spiritual side of just being and just existing, we didn't come on this earth to just exist, right? I believe we have souls, and souls always exist. What we do in the spiritual realms, what we do as souls by default is existing, right? We come to this earth, we incarnate into this earth to actually live, not just exist. If all we wanted to do as souls was to just exist and not experience living, then we wouldn't even incarnate in the first place. Like, why go through the hassle of incarnating and having a physical body if we can just exist as souls in the realm of souls? Like, why would we choose to live, right? So I think living isn't the same as just existing. Living isn't just existing. If that was the case, I don't think life would exist. Kind of, yeah. Yeah, I don't know how else to explain it. But, so, living isn't just existing. It's also doing. So doing is a part of our nature. Doing is a part of living, just as being is a part of living. And I think it's the intricate dance between the two. It's the balance of being and doing that really makes life fulfilling. That makes you really live life, you know, not just exist, not just survive, but thrive. There was this video on YouTube that I came across where this guy was just talking about, you know, chilling, just being, and not like putting in effort, not forcing anything, not doing anything, and, you know, just chilling with the universe, just vibing, you know, good vibes. And there's nothing wrong with that, but I think it's just half of the story. There was a comment under that video that got a lot of likes, and I'm just going to quote one part of that comment. Authenticity is the opposite of effort. Now, that sounds like a wise thing to say. I just don't agree with it. Like, I personally value effort. I think it might have been worded wrong. Like, I think the person might have tried to say that authenticity is the opposite of forcefulness, like forcing yourself to do things. So if that was what the commenter meant, I think that is true to some degree, but I don't think authenticity is the opposite of effort. I already posted a video on authenticity, which you can check out if you would like, but I do think authenticity has more to do with living in alignment with your values and with your core essence, and it doesn't really have anything to do with putting in the effort or not. If you value putting in effort, if you value growing and learning and, doing things, then that means effort is a part of your authenticity, since it's a value of yours. So I do think being authentic, being human, requires effort to some degree. Like, you can't just stay in the same place staring at a wall for 80 years of your life, right? Like, you do have to put in effort towards something. Like, if you like doing something, you are putting effort into it. If you like swimming, you have to put in the effort to swim. If you like baking, you have to put in the effort to bake, right? So living authentically, living in alignment with your heart's desires, your values, it does require effort, I think. So what I'm trying to say is, doing is a part of living authentically. Doing is a part of the human experience. We have to do just as much as we have to be. And there's like this other saying in the spiritual side of the internet, like, we are human beings, not human doings. Well, like, yeah, but like, we call every living thing a living being, using the English language as a justification for not doing anything is kind of funny. Yeah, we're human beings, not human doings, but we have the verb to do for a reason, right? The verb to do exists in every language for a reason, because it's a part of our life. Anyway, so, like, it's funny, because, like, I'm pretty sure all the spiritual discourse is more so around forcing yourself to do things you don't want to do. And I agree, you shouldn't force yourself to do things you don't want to do, to some extent. I think at some points in your life, you do have to force yourself, because you won't have the motivation unless you actually start doing it. Like, I had no motivation. I didn't have eureka moments where I was suddenly motivated to make YouTube videos, right? I've always wanted to make YouTube videos, but if I didn't force myself to actually start and actually do, like force myself to do, then I wouldn't be motivated at all, like ever. I would just be a couch potato for the rest of my life. So you have to force yourself to do things until you no longer have to force yourself, until you develop the motivation to just continue doing. Now that I'm past the stage of forcing myself to make YouTube videos, now I have the motivation. I enjoy making videos. Well, I still have to force myself in some aspect to, continue making YouTube videos, but I know that the result of forcing myself is that I get to enjoy making them. So I've concluded that you shouldn't just hustle and you shouldn't just manifest. You should do both, So you should do a little manifesting, and then do a little inspired hustling, and then do a little bit more manifesting. And if you just try to be and just manifest, you won't really go anywhere without inspired action, because it's the second half of the equation. It's the second half of the formula to live life, Like, you can manifest winning the lottery all you want, but if you don't actually go and buy a lottery ticket, and do the action of buying a lottery ticket, you're not going to win the lottery. Like, you can raise your vibration all you want, you're not going to win without a ticket. So so that's what I think. I think thousands of years of spirituality have resulted in a balance of doing and being, for the most part. Like, when you look at monks, they train their bodies just as hard as they train their minds. They train physically just as much as they train spiritually, like those Shaolin monks. They train their bodies really hard, you know? They train their bodies to be strong, and they train their minds to be strong. So, in essence, what those monks are doing, they are balancing the doing and the being, the materiality with the spirituality, the body with the mind. And they have achieved that balance. I think New Age spirituality has kind of taken out the doing from the equation when it was always there. They've taken the doing out of the equation and have named it yoga as a separate doing exercise, when actually spiritual practices that have been going on for thousands of years always had a balance of doing and being. But I think the New Age spirituality is kind of disregarding the second half of the equation, which is to be grounded on this earth as humans. Human beings actually doing things, In conclusion, we have to balance hustling with manifesting, being with doing, materiality with spirituality, the body and the mind, the body and the soul. We have to hustle fast, guys. We have to hustle fast. I think the balance is where it's at. And I think if we can properly hustle fast, we have reached enlightenment. You are an enlightened human being doing. That's all for today. Thank you for watching. I hope you have a lovely week. Please take care of yourself. Please be kind to yourself. Please be kind to others. And let's start hustle festing. It sounds so weird. But yeah, let's start hustle festing together. If you like this video, please consider watching my other videos, and please consider subscribing. I would really appreciate that. And yeah, thank you so much. Bye!